Food and nutrition is really important at a club because it's important to maximise each player's performance and development in terms, obviously, on a match day, to make sure that the players can run as far as they can compete as well as they can. Also, that they're recovering well between games and training sessions, and thirdly, to make sure that they're enhancing themselves athletically. So whether that's growing muscle tissue, make sure they get the right nutrients to do that, and fighting off illness, make sure they get everything that can help them do that.
So later on the day, having a wee meeting with some of the guys and all that, just to talk about their wee project with the healthy eating and try to refocus on the nutrition. So that's what I'm doing today.
Okay, I good mate.
Alright, good.
Every player needs to have carbohydrate in their diet, and every player needs to have protein in their diet, and they also need fat in their diet as well, to support like hormones. You also obviously need vitamins and minerals. So whether that comes from broccoli, carrots or green beans, the specifics of it don't really matter, but a well balanced diet, the footballers will need all the 3 macronutrients.
So guys, as you see, smoothie, very kind of healthy and many different benefits you can get from it. Good thing to have in the morning times. So have a wee try at it, see if you like it.
It's freaking bitter. I'm not a fan.
Not a fan?
Nah.
Right.
I would say there's probably blueberries.
Not today.
Not today. Raspberries?
Raspberries, yes. And then also there is beetroot, kale, spinach, yoghurt, honey, which is a natural booster for energy in the morning to help you go out and hit the ground running, literally.
I don't like it, but I'll drink it. I think I could drink this, but no, if it was any milk. I mean, like, say if it was a bigger one, like bigger smoothie, I don't drink it.
Most young footballers undereat, and if you think of most of, generally a kind of male 20-25-year-old, the kind of average calorie intake should be about 2,500 calories a day. Our players are probably burning about 4,500 calories every day just by training in the morning and doing gym in the afternoon. So if they're going to grow, they probably need to be at kind of 4,000 or 5,000 calories a day, and that's kind of getting that mindset into them. You look at like Al and Barry, who've put on kind of a lot of muscle mass, and some of the younger ones like David and Dino and Max Johnson, they're benefiting from that. And the idea really here is that when they get thrown out the first team, that they're physically ready to cope. That's the kind of aim there, that you don't have to wait till 21, 22 till they're actually the size of a first team player.
Second food for you to try on offer today is a buckwheat salad. Buckwheat is a grain. There's a lot more in it in terms of fibre and natural proteins, whereas rice are just strongly carb based. So this is also an added protein.
It's actually alright, it's nice.
So in all of that is courgette, carrots, pomegranate, more spinach, more kale.
First meal I've enjoyed. I'm only kidding. He's raging. No. Nah, it's nice.
Certainly where people come from different places in the world and even different backgrounds, like you have some veggies, some guys that are vegan now, so that comes with its own challenges. Specifically in the west of Scotland, sometimes people have a kind of particular type of diet that, it's, that's kind of where I'm from obviously as well, and I know my family are like that, but one of the challenges we've got with young kids coming in, especially in this area, is trying to get them into a more high protein diet with kind of fresher foods. There's loads of ways to find a good diet. That's the key really, and it's finding that way for the individual.
Oh my, I don't think I can put that on my phone. Oh, that's fish. And I ain't eating that if that's fish.
This is a mackerel and lentil salad. You'll be very, very surprised, I think,
I'd rather do a bush tucker trial than this.
Some of the boys don't really like certain things that we recommend, and that's okay because everybody's an individual and there's no exact way. For example, sometimes I'll recommend that they eat salmon for dinner on a Monday night. Some people might not like that. There will be other options to get protein in their diet.
So, how do you feel maybe
fish?
Well, we trust the players to eat a kind of normal diet, that they're not eating too many bad things, but generally if people kind of follow a 90-10 rule, where 90% of the stuff they eat is good and 10%'s maybe a wee bit of a treat meal, then they're not going to be that strict that they can't have the occasional wee thing that might be a treat, occasional wee bar of chocolate or something, but we'll be able to tell it's reflected in their body fat scores and stuff, that if they're overstepping the line. But most guys now are really professional, they like to stay in shape, so it's generally not too much of a problem.
Motherwell's quest for 3 important points comes to Easter Road, where they face a high-flying Hibs team, hungry for their own 3 points here today.
The commitment and energy and togetherness that we showed on Wednesday was evident here from minute 1.
Breaks for Watt. That's a delightful ball. Jordan Roberts is through on goal and finishes excellently beyond Marciano.
We're all hard to beat and solid and together. All times I look at the team, they're always together.
Breaks again for Roberts, who links up with Cole. Cole goes for goal and makes it 2. An emphatic finish from the striker.
We certainly had a point to prove after the St Johnstone game. We've gone a little bit of the way to proving that point, but that's the consistency that we need week in, week out. If we get that, then we know we've got the quality to win games.
The importance of that win cannot be underestimated. That could be the biggest 3 points in Motherwell's season so far.
Hi, it's happening. Coming. With COVID this year and the football wise, it's been a bit hard. I think this time last year that we were just about to probably come into the worst thing that's happened in my life, and that's not being able to play football. Obviously at the start it was a bit scary, seeing the news, seeing a lot of people being affected with it. I think everybody was a bit worried and a bit nervous and what was going to happen, but I'm not really somebody that likes to sit in the house all day, so the main thing for me was just to try and get out and do something, keep myself busy. I'm lucky enough that I've got a my own gym that I can come in and spend a lot of time in. I was basically living in my gym. Just come in here in the morning and the night and mum hardly seen me, but it was better than that than being stuck in the house. My head was gone mad, so it was a good wee escape. We were just told we just need to wait and see what happens. Nobody had a clue, and it was just trying to keep yourself fit in case the season started again. Or I think for then it's crazy to think that it's a full year we've been in the same situation, but I think as us as footballers I'm just grateful that we were able to play football, and hopefully in the next couple of months and looking at the next season that we can start getting fans back in and start getting things back to normal. I'll put this on. A bit louder. He's very like that music, but gets me going. I think my teammates would probably say I'm hard-working, dedicated and driven. That's the sort of person I try and be. When in football, I want to just try and be the best I can be. If that's doing a wee bit extra here and there, then I'll do it. I just want to get the best out of football, and I don't want to have any regrets when I look back at my career at the end of it. Coming in first and leaving last, I think leaving last is probably an exaggeration. Obviously some boys stay a bit later than that, but first in, I'm one of the first, but I think that's just been when I was first came full time. I think it all started when I was having to get a train in the morning, so I was up early hours and I was in, and I was like, I've just got the gym as well, nobody else is in, try and do a wee bit extra, and I've just carried it on since I've been able to drive. I love going in there and preparing myself and doing a wee bit extra, making sure I'm ready for training and not getting any injuries and stuff like that, so it's just part of my routine now and I'm happy with it. I think if me as a person, I've just always wanted to be the best I can be. I'm pretty competitive, and my main goal and dream was to be a footballer. And I think my mum and dad have supported that, and they've just always said to me, if you want something, then you need to do that wee bit extra to get it. And I think I just try and live my life like that. I always live with the fact that when I stop, I don't want to look back and go, oh, maybe if I did that might have happened. I just try and do the best I can now. So if that's coming in a wee bit earlier, making my own gym, or doing a wee bit extra eating right, then I'll do it just to make sure that when I look back, if I do that, then I'm going to get the best rewards, and working hard's the easiest thing for that. There obviously is days when you're like, oh, I don't know if I can be bothered, but I always think in the back of my head that the person that I want to be is somebody that I'm competing against is doing that, so I think, oh no, he's doing that, so he's a bit better than me. I thought that about lockdown all the time. I was like, I'm going to go back, or the fitness tests, or the boys are going to be better, and that sort of motivated me. I was just like, I don't want to be last, and I don't want to be the one people like, oh, look at him. I want to try and be first in everything and be the best. So I don't know, I think that competitive streak kind of gets me going. When I was a kid, I used to cry when I got beat. That was the sort of person I was. My mum and dad used to be like to my uncles, let him win. But I've just always been like that. I've always been very competitive, always wanting to win, be the best. And that's just the way I've been, that's the way I'll always be.
Allan Campbell making his 150th Motherwell appearance tonight, having made his debut back in 2016.
I'm living the dream. I'm playing football every day, playing in the top league in Scotland and making an impact in the league. And I think the success we've had with the club since I've been in the first team has been brilliant. I've played in 2 cup finals, played in Europe, 3rd place finish, and played a lot of great players as well. And it's been brilliant. I couldn't ask for anything else.
Edge of the box, Liam Polworth shoots. Ball to Allan Campbell! Goal for Motherwell! Allan Campbell!
I just kind of always just wanted to be in the first team, and that was my main goal. And since then, it's been a bit of a blur. I can't really remember much yet, to be honest. It's during the COVID time, people would always ask you, do you get a chance to sit and think back of what you've done in that? And it's mental because you don't really. And during football, everything happens so fast. Before you know what the season's done. So this year, the season's flew by, and before you know it, we're near the end, and you don't really get the chance to reflect. But I've just been thankful enough that the managers that have picked me have trusted me, and I've been able to perform at a good level and just stay in the team. That's just the way I see it. Obviously this year's been a bit hard, and obviously with the COVID, and then our form's not been the best, and the managers came in and we've picked up a lot, and it's been a good bit of a fresh start. And I think the performances we've put in have been brilliant. Still a lot of games to go, tough games, still got the cup competitions to play for, so there's a lot to go on, a good few months left of the season, so there's a lot to look forward to and a lot of excitement ahead.
Why do you do that? It's funny, eh?
Come on.
Well, it's back to Fir Park for Motherwell. Livingston, the visitors this afternoon, as the Steelmen look to build on an incredible 3 points against Hibernian last weekend.
It was a brilliant performance. From minute one, we swarmed all over them, and we kept them pinned in their half.
Crawford skips past the challenge, goes to ground, penalty. Cole scores 1-0 to Motherwell. That's his 7th of the campaign. Falls for Cole. Oh yes, 2-0 to Motherwell, and it's that man again, Devante Cole, in some style.
We had Livingston on the back foot for a long period, and deservedly won the 3 points against a very good team.
Picks out long. Superb, as cool as you like. The substitute makes it 3.
We've set the bar, the players have set the bar as individuals and as a group. We can't kid ourselves that we can come off it.
Motherwell with another massive 3 points. Starting to find their groove now at a crucial time of the campaign. Full-time score, Motherwell 3, Livingston 1.
The UK as a whole is not racist because you can go many different places and you'll be embraced. But it's society, it's not the UK. People in power who filter their messages down. The messages they put through that filter through to people and they take it in.
We all get them looks if you go to like a shop or Tesco and the security guys just kind of like it's standard, isn't it?
It's standard, but that's so bad that it's standard. Yeah.
You expect it. And like when you're driving around like the black guy in an okay car.
London, same thing.
Yeah.
Get pulled.
I think everyone here has definitely been pulled.
Yeah, but
for no reason. It's normal though, but it's normal, but it shouldn't be.
Even in the back of my head, even if of course we're all legit people, but you see a police car, you automatically think, oh, I'm gonna get pulled.
And if you got police like behind you when you're driving, you're like, start moving nervous. Always nervous, it's mad.
My cousin, so I've been in his car twice, and twice we've been pulled over and saying that there are drugs in the car.
Same thing. Young black man driving the car, police see you, pull you, say, oh, I've heard there's drugs in this car, something like that. There's no drugs. They search your whole car, embarrassing you.
It's embarrassing.
But it's like, that's normal. We all said that's normal. That's not good. It shouldn't be normal.
No, it shouldn't be, but I think even see us like, or playing up pay move around here, I think now, you know, driving around, you're going to feel it even more so in a place like Scotland, because there is probably even less black people than there is in England. So up here driving around, I've been pulled by police once, and I was just like, what's this for, really? Yeah. Told them I played for Motherwell and it was happy days. And I was just like, that shouldn't work.
What if you did? You know,
yeah, if I didn't, it's probably we're having a different conversation.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, definitely.
I remember I think it was the first lockdown. It was when all the stuff happened to the Black Lives Matter stuff. And I went to Asda one time, and I could just feel like presence from people looking at me the whole time. And I didn't go for Asda, I didn't go like for like 3-4 days in a row, because anytime I was walking there at that time, I didn't feel like I'm not home.
That's at the start, like when everyone was on Black Lives Matter. Now it's like, even the taking the knee, everyone just does it now because you just got to do it.
It's lost its meaning totally, from my opinion anyways. And I think at the start of it, when we first doing it, I thought, yeah, this is actually good. This is going to draw a lot of attention to it.
Yeah. And people ask questions like, why is he doing that? Why is he doing that? But now it's just dragging on.
It's pretty pointless.
A new message has to be sent now. Something else has to be done to reinforce it, because I think everyone's probably tired of seeing taking a knee. And I'm at the point where I'm taking it, but it's even I'm like, well, what am I doing it for anymore? Because everyone's just like, oh, that's just taking a knee for a kick-off. Like, everyone's just like, it's an acceptance now. It's not a statement anymore.
Like Wilfred's interview thing about taking a knee, and what he was saying about it, like he's not going to take the knee no more. But when you think about it, it's right. He's right. Everyone's even. You don't have to go on your knees to try and feel valued.
But that's what has to be done now. I think if everyone starts standing, a new message will come again.
Brings more attention to the actual topic. And something has to change.
And I think for the first 2 weeks, it was there, it was loud and clear. Then when all football started coming back and, you know, they started doing it, I think it was lost. And then now teams coming out saying they're not doing it, the message has been lost, and the right has been lost.
You got to educate your kids. Like when that umbilical cord gets cut, you're not racist.
Yeah, you're not. You're really not racist. You don't. No one's born a racist.
You got racially abused before.
I've been one time on the social media, yeah, definitely. That was when I was at Wolves, like 2 years ago. It was just an under-23s game, and we lost the game against, I think it was Southampton, 3-1.
I was probably playing.
Yeah.
That's why you lost.
Yeah, and someone was just saying like, black fucker, this, you've been terrible, blah, blah, blah. And I just look at it, and I was just in myself, if I score next week 2-3, then they're the best friends again. Like, it makes actually no sense. It makes no sense. Crazy. And you, Donny?
Once social media, I think, I can't remember, I think someone's called it a monkey or something like that. But it was years ago, so I just didn't really take no notice of it. Yeah. Just left it.
When I was back in Yeovil, Fuso came on, walked to the edge of the pitch, and then somebody from the crowd said, "Oh, go back to your fucking country." Something along those lines. And I was like, I looked at the Fuso, I was like, "Oh, did you hear that?" And he's like, "Yeah, I heard it." I was like, "Okay." Well, just went back onto the pitch and just carried on playing, because what can you actually do?
Yeah.
How about you, D?
I was at City, we went away, I can't remember who was playing now, someone in Spain. I don't know what he said to me, but one of the boys is Spanish behind me, and he's told me what he said, and I turned around and he tried to spit on me. Jeez. So then I actually said, you know what, straight away I've just gone to swing. And I just thought, I couldn't care less what happens after this. Luckily, like, one of my teammates has caught me and it's all started kicking off, and after the game, I remember City put in a complaint and they got fined for it, something, so I don't know, it could have been like 10 grand, I can't even remember, something stupid. It's not going to affect the club anyway. If I get abused tomorrow on the pitch, I'm not getting on in the game. 1, I'm walking off. 2, I'm doing something about it. Yeah. It's the only way. I'm not interested in football after that. Because race has nothing to do with football, but you're bringing it into it, and then you're going to tell me to carry on. I'm going to get more reaction walking off and doing something about it than I would carrying on. You'll say, "Oh, well done, you carried on."
You tell the ref whatever, they'll just
dismiss it casually, innit?
So I don't know the way things are going to change, to be honest.
But I feel like because obviously a lot of players have been getting abuse on social media, I think like Twitter and the Instagrams need to do something to actually validate these accounts.
You see the campaign thing?
Yeah, signed it. So you got to put your ID in or something. 100% sign it.
They have to do something like that to knuckle that down, because
to look after people.
Yeah, you can't be just getting monkey emojis being sent to you left, right, and centre.
Flipping no display.
Exactly. So they need to be identified.
It's nuts how deep it goes.
It's so deep.
It's everything, isn't it? It's like
nothing.
Me now, like if I reply to people on my clothing, for instance, I won't put a black emoji, and I shouldn't do that. But it's so mad in some people's perceptions that will put them off. But that's how deep it goes sometimes. So I'll just use like an emoji, a yellow one that no one can say anything about.
It's crazy. When I was younger, I think probably all of you were told as well, like, we're always going to have to work harder than
Double as hard.
the other side.
You've got to work extra hard, yeah. But it's just sad, that's just mad.
But that's just the reality, though, isn't it? Really.
It's just how it is now. It's not easy, it's not easy.
It's not easy.
It's not easy.
But it's not easy.
But work extra.
It's not until you get to like, well, I think me when I was playing that game, 17, you're aware of racism, but growing up, you don't take it in because you're just a kid playing with mates. Like, no one makes the point of it. It's not until you actually understand like a bit more about the world that you think, oh yeah, racism. Because when you're like 12, 13, 14, 15, you're not thinking about that.
100%. I remember when I was 7, I was in school. I had this teacher. I did not know anything about racism, and it turns out that she was racist. And she always put me in the corner of the room. I had to face the wall, and then she was doing like teaching class, like teaching that way. She never used to let me go to the toilet. I was young, I didn't understand any of it. I was really scared to say anything to my mom, because this was going on, bear in mind, maybe 7 or 8 months. I had to do the year over because I wasn't educated well. So yeah, it's crazy, man, like that she, to a 7-year-old kid, like can do this stuff, you know?
It's probably only when I turned professional that I realised that it's around. But I think before that, never thought of it as a kid.
Never.
That's it. Education, and to make sure it's loud and clear.
People just get punished for like, it shouldn't be alright to
heavy punishment.
Heavy punishment.
Make sure they listen. Heavy punishment.
You got small ears though, but make sure.
You can see how we are, like we're laughing and stuff. We shouldn't really be laughing at stuff like this, but it's just so normal. It's like it's casual, and it shouldn't be.
Ultimately, we don't want our kids to be going through what we go through on a daily basis.
We know we're going to raise our kids, and you're going to be like, you're going to encounter this today, encounter that. You're going to have to tell them before you let them out in the world, and then when they come home crying one day, you're going to have to be like, who did it? But that's it.
Exactly, because you have to have that uncomfortable conversation with little Mugabe, little Ben Nevis, you know them ones, huh?
Pending,
need to find a one.
pending transactions.
We're always going to be fighting against the tide, or like, if you must, we're always going to be, for me. It's not going to change in our lifetimes.
This is the start of the change, I guess.
I think if it's going to change, it will start with our generation.
Yeah, has to.
But yeah, football just need to keep doing something different, just to keep the questions coming.
We have a slight advantage than just a black kid who goes to school because we play football. We're more accepted because of that. We have to use it.
People look up to you and respect you, so if there's someone watches this and they've just like one kid thinks like, oh my mom's wrong or something, like, you know, something like that.
That's the start of it, no?
To start, one person.
Precisely.
Agree.